Ladies and gentlemen, before I say what I want to say, how many of you remembered when two of our previous guests talked about how evil, how deceitful, and how fraudulent this so-called Bishop Onyaghoziri, who have now been nicknamed Bishop Nicodemus because his nude leaked online? How many of you remembered when two of our guests talked about him? You see, when those two guys talked about him, the part where they talked about him is going to show at the end of this what I'm saying now. But when they talked about him, most of his disciples, his church, his followers, his church members, and other people came to attack us. They even call me all sorts of names. They say I used to hire people and pay them to come to my podcast and defame men of God and anointed men of God. They called us all sorts of names, and they said those guys were lying. As God may have it, God himself exposed this man. And the story is that there's this girl who was suffering from sickle cell patient who went to him for prayers. And this man promised the girl that he was going to heal her, but the girl should be sleeping with, him. Like every time the girl sleeps with him, the sickle cell will keep feeding away from her system. And of course, as gullible as she was, or as gullible as she is, just like most religious puppet, she accepted, and the man started doing all sorts of things to her until the video leaked online. Now the so-called bishop is chilling in the police. He was arrested, and he's not finding it easy. I'm not sure he's going to come out anytime soon. You see, when we talk about some of these people, it is not from a place of hate. We do some of these things to warn churchgoers, Christians, and everyone at large to be careful of these so-called bishops, prophets, and all of them. The guest we had on this podcast, Wisdom and the one that calls himself prophetic governor, said a whole lot of things about this particular man, but nobody believed them. You all owe us an apology, those who doubted us. But that is by the way. My happiness is that finally the law will deal with him, and he will pay for his crimes. Only God knows how much more these people do in secret, things that we do not know. And most of you do not know why we have such audacity and boldness when we talk about some of these people. It is not because of what our guests even come here to talk about. It is because personally I've had my own experiences with these people. I guess most of you have not heard my own part of the story. It's long. In fact, we started recording it, and in a few days time I'm going to publish it on this page and our YouTube channel. Of course, you're going to hear things, long things. You're going to hear tricks. People that have been coming to this podcast, they don't know much. The only person that really knows much is Wisdom. All right, so just stay tuned. You're going to hear stuff. I'm going to post my own part of the story, things that I've experienced from these men of God a few days time. But for now, take a look at what this guy said earlier, several months before the video of our almighty bishop leaked online. I'm done.
That's Edward ministry. Their neighbor normally park. Some of their neighbor that has a car normally park. So one of them wanted to go out. So it was Onyaghoziri, Bishop Onyaghoziri blocked the person. And then when they brought the number, it happened that it was Onyaghoziri car. And then he was with Mike. So there is no how he can leave and then drive his car out from for that person to go. I went and collected a key to drive the car out. When I entered Onyaghoziri motor, what I saw inside that car, I saw charm, this native pot at the back of his car. In fact, I was so shocked. My body was no longer there. If not that I am a man, let me just put it in that way, I would have screamed. I have to shift the car for that person to go. I returned the key. That was when I discovered that these men are not what we think of. They came with a cripple, somebody who was using a wheelchair. That is this stick wheelchair. So why they do their things after preaching, Bishop Imo and then Bishop Onyaghoziri team hand and then held Apostle Edward and said, "We are giving you power. We give you power. Go and heal. Whatever thing you say must happen." They talk and talk. Yeah.
The cripple stood up.
No, he moved.
Okay.
That is Edward moved. I met one boy they brought. But do you know what God did that day? There was a real cripple man in that meeting. That was what really God just punished them. There was a real cripple man that was in that service, but they only healed the missionary they brought. The one they brought.
Then this guy in my 50, Abakaliki, my 50, Sam Onyaghoziri, champion cathedral.
Champion Cathedral.
I used to even send people to him, champion.
That is at Ebonyi Voice Junction.
Exactly. I do send people. You have also worked for him in his church there. Then there is this guy again along that same area, EC Emmanuel.
Oh, Emmanuel opposite Source Spring.
Source Spring directly. Understand? These are the people I've worked with them.